Okay, so thank you everybody for coming here. And what we'll do is we'll just take a few minutes to discuss about this technology, Google Glass, and it's been a topic of debate around the world because it is potentially a great advancement in technology and it could be put to use, but there are some constraints also and some shortcomings. So what we'll do is we'll take some time to watch the video of what Google Glass can do. This is their Google pitch, and then we'll start our discussion. Right?
Sure.
People will never take them off to it's scary, it's crazy, consumers will hate it. There hasn't been a lot of talk in the middle, which is what Google Glass really is right now. And what Google Glass is a device that cuts some corners for you, help you along with some directions, give you email notifications, text notifications, let you share a photo. I've been using them for about 3 weeks, and I wear them about 4 hours a day. It depends on how often I'm outside. Obviously, I don't wear them when I'm in front of the computer. That's a little redundant. But so far, so good. I don't really notice them as much the more that I've worn them. It sits right here above my right eye, so it's not in my field of vision. I haven't driven with them yet, but for the walking directions, it's super helpful. And I know some folks that have driven with them and have ridden their bike while wearing them. The other thing that people talk about a lot is privacy. And is it weird? So far, the reaction for me has been fine. I wore them in New York and Kansas City and here in San Francisco. And there's general curiosity. People ask me to try them on. One bartender did ask me if I was videotaping the whole time, but that's just, some education, and we talked about it. And once people try them on, they realize that it's not a spying device. It's more of a relaxed, calm technology that just lets you know when things are going on. So I'm gonna go outside and we're gonna go get some coffee at the creamery, and we're just gonna use some of the features that I use on a daily basis. All right, we're gonna head over to the creamery, grab a cup of coffee. So we're gonna ask Google Glass for directions. So I'm gonna stop here and say, okay, Glass, get directions to the creamery. So the turn-by-turn directions pop up. I can look at the whole route, or I can just let it guide me. So we'll move on. So as I'm getting directions, all this can be running in the background, and I can get things like something weird in my ear is telling me where to go. I can get other things going like New York Times headlines, right? Now it might look a little weird walking down the street doing this, but you get used to it. So once I come upon a New York Times headline, I tap, hit read more, it'll read it out loud to me. And clearly these aren't things that I'll be doing and stopping and spending a lot of time on, but it's information that I can get while I'm on the go. So meanwhile, this has been running in my ear. I also have an email. So once I get across the street, I'll see what that's about. Meanwhile, if I glance up, I can see the directions guiding me. We're going straight, so it's not a big deal. I can change over to walking, driving, or biking directions, which is pretty handy too. While I'm walking along, I can also get my email, which will just flash up in front of my eye. Nice thing is, I can have it read it out loud to me just by swiping through. And then as it does that, I can listen to it.
From Danielle Pickford, subject, message by your Google profile, sent to San Francisco, message, Major, heading down to Major, you're meant to begin.
So I can reply to it, of course, and then Google Glass will then report.
So I think everyone has a fair idea about the Google Glass and what it can do, the kind of uses. So what we'll do is that we'll try to capture some of the initial responses you have about this technology. What do you think? What comes to your mind when looking at this product?
So if I look at Glass, primarily I think it's just connectivity. So this is one of the features. The other feature that I know about is you can actually project what you see to somewhere else.
Okay.
So which I feel is a huge plus with respect to communication. So the need for everyone to be physically present is reduced a lot.
Okay.
So let's take an example of suppose we are sitting here, right, and there's a presentation going on somewhere else. Every one of us can't physically be there. But even if there's one representative giving a presentation and then broadcasting it to all of us, I think that's where it really breaks on communication barriers.
Right.
I have a few other concerns, especially
Okay.
from an ergonomics point of view. How comfortable it be for everybody, because it is situated just above the eye level. Maybe it's not be comfortable for everybody using that glass. Second would be a major concern regarding the safety scenario.
Right.
Because you see, with increasingly, competition, time management, people nowadays they use mobile phones while driving, even if they use Google glasses while driving or crossing the street. So maybe their attention would be much focused towards the Google Glass and not on the real circumstances.
Very true.
So it might have some implication on the safety side. So that thing must be considered into.
Got it.
Privacy also, other than safety, I think privacy is also a concern. Like what we have, whenever you are walking on the street, for example, and you are looking at someone and there is image recognition, and you know a lot about the person by searching online about that person. So there's a lot of barriers, I think, which would exist when we are looking at privacy.
Or would rather
issues.
even videotaping people, which may
Yeah.
not be
I think-
appropriate across the street.
The example which is given is probably the less harmful.
Yeah, less
But-
harmful,
Right,
right.
but there are a lot of things
Yeah.
which, not just this, I think the reading out emails, right? As a society, just imagine if you're walking around and everybody's just reading out their emails loud, and what is the type of social interaction that we're talking about? You're sitting in a train and 50 people are reading out their emails.
Right. It's kind of a disconnect with the.
Disconnect with the actual reality.
I mean, even at this present time, I feel that people are so distracted. They are doing n number of things at the same time, not able to focus on one thing. Now here comes Google Glass. The kind of features we've just seen are just the tip of the iceberg,
Right.
and I'm sure that there will be other apps that will be built on this.
Right.
So on one hand, it offers a lot of convenience, but at the same time, privacy is one. The other is how much can a human mind take at the same time? How much multitasking?
Got it.
I think it will also reduce the one-on-one interaction that any normal human being has in a particular day, and it will be kind of an addiction. I feel if it gets commercialized and if it reaches every person,
Right.
it will be kind of an addiction.
Right.
So the question is, why do we need Google Glass?
Yeah,
Is there a need for Google Glass? That is
Exactly.
the
Which is my next question is that
Why do we
let's say that the privacy and the safety concerns are somehow taken care of, let's say that it is available for free to you, each one of you. Is there some kind of a use that you think on top of your mind which you would want to use it for? Like if it is free and it is available, I give it to you right now. What do you think, what comes to your mind where you would like to put it to use?
So one, I mentioned the broadcasting. The other actually, which he mentioned as an example, I think that's probably right now the information barriers have been absolutely reduced, right? So the online search which I would do right in front of the person, I can even do that beforehand. I can go to LinkedIn, I can go to Facebook, find out about the person. But as a person doing business, I just find this is going to be a lot more useful, wherein I can process information while having conversations. So if somebody mentions something to me and I'm having a negotiation, I can process information right there rather than taking out my laptop and saying, "Hey, hold on, let me go check it out, find out what's happening, and then let me get back to you."
So would you be comfortable, like if there is a business meeting going on, would you be comfortable wearing this, and while talking and negotiating you would want this kind of a...
And I think this is just probably the start, right? So ergonomics will be taken care of. So it will move to lenses at some point, I'm sure, or it will move to some micro device.
Right.
So I think that's where it's heading. This is more a proofing of the concept. And as it gets back, I think as we've seen, device sizes is just a very minor infraction. Very soon people start reducing that and making that very useful, convenient to use.
So the use you say is that while conversing you can seek information. That is one thing that comes to your mind.
Be much more intelligent.
While talking to you. Anything that
Other than personal use and official use and all these uses, a little crazy out of the box kind of an idea that comes to my mind is probably private security agencies can use this, or the president's, what is that president?
Security.
Yeah. So secret service, if they use it while patrolling, etc. So again, there are a lot of applications that Google Glass.
defense and security
Defense
can
and
be
security
one.
is one entire segment or industry that
That is for commercial purposes.
Yeah.
But for personal use, do you think that it
Personal use, I think most of them have already been covered. Social networks, if we are able to overcome all of these, then there can be multiple use. I cannot pinpoint a specific one.
I am very, very concerned about the fact that if I am talking to someone who is wearing this glass, I'll be a bit skeptic about whether he's recording this. What is he going to do with this? And once you have a device which can record everything that you are saying or process a lot of information,
right?
I'll be very skeptical about talking to that person.
Well, I agree with what he's saying because you'll not be very comfortable with the person. And also when you are talking to a person, instead of paying more attention to what he is saying, you will simultaneously also check what are the facts. So a proper linkage is not established.
So that usage is not very appropriate.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you think that in your everyday life you could use?
I personally don't think what I feel is we already have smartphones, we already have better connectivity. So I just don't find in my personal life the excess need of that special Google Glass. Yeah, it can have applications in security, in other applications.
Commercial application,
Yeah,
non-consumer.
Yeah, non-consumer commercial application it does have.
Okay.
But as far as the personal life goes, I think it's quite restricted.
People with disabilities, who are not able to navigate the complex smartphones that are there now, right now.
Or even blind people, I think
Blind
that would be
people.
a great deal actually.
But then you don't need a
Blind,
glass.
uh,
You don't need a glass. You just need to
can,
wear.
You don't need.
You just need a voice guidance.
Voice.
voice. So they will. So what it will convert the visuals to voice maybe.
That's, but honestly, I think there is resistance to any new concept, right? So, who needed a smartphone? We lived hundreds of years without smartphones. But once it came in, it became all pervading. Now we use smartphones.
It has transformed from a want to a need.
Right.
Right.
So, and I think that's what with these devices, if they manage to reach a critical mass, they tend to become a need afterwards. So, there will be your few set of innovators who will try it out. And if they are influential enough, I think any product can really sell. And that's where I think Google Glass really needs to try and do is get that set of influential innovators.
So what I get from the whole discussion is that there is a lot of apprehension in terms of privacy and security and all that stuff. So maybe direct to consumer is not right now for this product, and maybe we can start with some kind of commercial applications to start with. Maybe.
No, I still think the consumer market, Google, at least if Google is pushing it, it has to be the consumer market.
Okay.
That's how they've always done it. They've reached out to the end consumer.
Okay.
And then people have built on top of it and made commercial uses. So at least from Google's point of view, I think they would want to really at least hit the tech savvy people first.
Okay.
Get them bought into it, and I think then commercial products will come out.
Skim the market first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is what they're doing also. That $1,500 Google Glass to all the select fee. I don't know what they call the people.
So if somebody was to develop applications for this Google Glass, and again the concerns are taken care of, what kind of application do you think will make sense for this kind of?
Maybe some face recognition apps when somebody like you meet and you don't remember the name of that person, that Google Glass can recognize that person and
You know the name and the which Mukund was talking about.
Yeah.
Google,
will be funny.
so Google knows what you're shopping, what kind of things you buy, what kind of offers you like. So when you're walking down the street, some shop can actually display that, okay, this jeans is 15% off. So
You were looking for it and now it is available, right?
So you're just looking around, and that the street that you're looking at, it can impose another layer on top of it, and it can provide some added visuals to you. Shopping help. But this shop that you're looking at now has this product.
Awesome.
Like Tesco's done this virtual shops, right? The wall shops.
Right.
They, along with Google Glass, can become like a personalized shops.
Personal shops. Yeah.
So you could actually, instead of seeing what everybody is seeing, a standard generic list of products, the entire wall can be customized to your needs.
Very interesting.
So I think the possibilities are limitless, especially in the marketing field, which again Google is the outright expert in.
Right.
I think the education space is probably another place wherein there is so much need for education on the move.
Right.
So if you can have webinars broadcasted, while people are traveling, they can actually see lectures or be connected to classrooms.
Or maybe even while reading books, some kind of a book reader which can actually help you get the context of this word or this author and a different context.
Yeah,
While
reviews
reading the
about
book,
the
maybe
book.
you can on the parallel line you can find the meaning of it and other references to other books, something like that. Yeah, so that was great discussion. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.